All right, so because the name of my wee little channel is Small Town Cop, and things have gotten, if I can speak English properly, pretty bad. Um, I feel like it's important to speak to the other cops out there, and the citizens in opposition to what has been going on for the past 2 years. Um, what has happened in Canada, what has happened in our country over the past 2 years is awful. I thought it awful. I was very surprised, but not that surprised, unfortunately, to learn that New York cops and other liberal city cops, and even some small town places and other liberal state cops, were willing to shut down businesses over this vaccine mandate and COVID mandates and mandate this, mandate that. It wasn't a freaking law. It's not how that works. Um, and I just wanted to challenge and call out other cops who are still in the force, who believe like me, don't quit the job, because then only the bad cops will be there to do that. Stand against it, and if you got to, put other cops in cuffs for getting out of line right there. I mean, they took an oath. Almost every state has that violation of oath law for cops. And I don't care if you're chief of police, if you're sergeant, whoever, I would do it. I told one of my coworkers today, like, dude, if you got a DUI, if you started trying to do this, I would put you in handcuffs. I would, without a doubt, put you in handcuffs if you tried to enforce this. And then we were just talking hypotheticals, because no one in my small department will ever try to do that. But yeah, that no, you'd be going into handcuffs. And I hate to say it, I know it's going to cause some problems for officers out there, but if your department starts acting anything like the Canadian Ottawa Police Department, you need to start putting your own boys in handcuffs, because that is completely unacceptable. No caveat. I don't care what you're ordered to do. You're not meant to just follow orders. You're meant to follow the law. And that law supersedes any one person or group's feelings or decree. And it's on you to protect the citizens, not to enforce these commonly phrased now draconian mandates and such on people. It's absolutely unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable for anybody wearing a badge to be enforcing what's going on. I'm with my department because we absolutely refused to do mandated vaccines. We refused to do any kind of shutdowns. We refused to do all that crap. Like, the list goes on and on. We're not going to do that. And mainly South Dakota has stuck to that, period. And Georgia, aside from Atlanta trying to do some things, which I think got shot down by the governor, thank God, you just don't do it. For my guys in blue, make sure you're worthy of that badge. You took an oath. It is not about your paycheck. It's about the right thing. I'm not making a lot of money doing what I'm doing right now. I'm making less than I did in the military. But I'm making the right decisions. And that's far more important. And if you're going to be a cop, if you're going to be a deputy, if you're going to be anything, that better be how you live. That better be how you conduct yourself. If you're in it for the paycheck and you'll follow whatever order, get out of the job. Get out of the job. You're exactly who we don't need on the streets. And my guys who are there on the streets, working next to those guys, do not be afraid. When they cross that line, put them in handcuffs, regardless if it's from your supervisor, if it's your partner, if it's whoever. If you are given an unjust order, you have to reject that and you have to put handcuffs on the person giving that order. Because until we start doing that, citizens are just going to keep seeing us as enforcing all the wrong things. Now, granted, it goes state to state. Like, I'm in a good state. Georgia was a pretty good state. Florida, obviously, has been pretty good. But, I mean, if you're in those states that's contested, keep it contested. Start pushing back. And for the citizens out there, I always keep this on my plate carrier around me, and I wear either a Warrior Poet Society bracelet that my wife custom made for me, by the way. John Lovell's a great guy. Or I wear a thin blue line bracelet. And I wear this Warrior Poet Society bracelet to remind me it's not just about backing the blue, it's about what it means to be a Warrior Poet Society and protecting more than just your bosses. It's about protecting people. And so that goes above the thin blue line, because if you can't, I can't get this to lay there all pretty and be dramatic because it's been worn all the time. But I actually like it on my wrist better. Remember what you swore to do, and think about what side of history you're going to be on. Because you can be on the winning side of history for a while and still be very, very wrong and ultimately lose. So my cops out there, do it right. And if you have to, it's time to start putting handcuffs on those guys stepping out of line. And making the citizens fear us for all the wrong reasons. That whole sheepdog thing, we look kind of like wolves, but the sheep know more often than not who the sheepdog is versus the wolf. We have the same fangs, the same claws, same body type. Definitely not a sheep. But you better make sure that the sheep know you're there to protect them and not hunt them. So that's my little political spiel. Officers out there, do your job right. You are a political figure, and you are the one that dictates how well policies are going to be enforced. And the wrong policies, you need to tell them no. And that's all there is. All right, guys. Feel so, share it around, but that's the important thing. Do it right.